Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take stacks of information, look for those crucial nuggets of knowledge, and bring them straight to you. Today, we're diving deep, right into the heart of a place called Messina. It's a small town, but high school football there.
Yeah.
It's basically everything. It's the whole town's identity.
Yeah, it really is. And we've got this amazing collection of sources, personal stories, memories, bits of history. They all paint this incredibly vivid picture of Messina and, maybe more importantly, its legendary coach, Eddie Rake. Our goal today really is to get under the skin of that, to understand the huge impact and sometimes, the really conflicting impact that one dominant person can have on a town, on the people in it.
Absolutely. We'll be touching on loyalty, identity, how memory works, that struggle people have moving on from, well, the glory days. This isn't just about football, though. It's bigger. It's about how one person, one single passion, can literally shape an entire world. Sometimes for good, sometimes not so much. Expect some twists. So, okay, let's paint that picture of Messina, specifically Rakefield. You've got this road lined with these perfect maple trees.
Beautiful image, yeah.
And then this massive gate, brick, wrought iron. Beyond that, just a chain link fence around the field. That's what everyone called it. On Friday nights, the whole town would just wait for the gates to open, then flood the bleachers, the parking, this paved pasture. It would overflow, cars everywhere, spilling onto dirt roads, alleys. It sounds intense.
Oh, intense doesn't quite cover it. It was reverence. Pilgrimage is a good word you used earlier. Messina didn't just like football. They worshipped it. Our sources are clear. No piece of ground, not even the town cemetery, was more sacred than the field.
Wow.
And the fact they named it Rake Field after he left, that tells you everything about his status, almost godlike. Players literally bowed to his bronze bust before games, like an altar.
And the man himself, Eddie Rake. Let's talk numbers for a second. 34 years coaching.
34 years.
418 wins, only 62 losses, 13 state titles.
Astonishing record.
And that streak. The 84-game undefeated streak, 1964 to 1970, just unbelievable. His power went way beyond the field, too. More political clout than all the politicians combined, apparently.
Oh, yeah, the story about the mayor.
Right. Tried to fire Rake after Rake cursed him out for stepping on the grass.
The sacred grab.
And the mayor got crushed in the next election. 4-1, that's influence.
It really is. And it makes you ask, what kind of person wields that kind of power? He demanded total authority. Excellence, yes, but also intense physical contact. He'd tackle players himself in practice. That level of control, that devotion he inspired, it definitely built champions. It shaped Messina. But it also hints at that darker side, right? That demanding, almost tyrannical approach that eventually led to big problems, big conflicts.
And the main way we're seeing all this unfold is through Neely Crenshaw, the former All-American quarterback, number 19, the Golden Arm. He comes back to Messina after 15 years away, driving slow, heading towards Rake Field, and just gets hit by this wall of memories.
Yeah, you can feel his struggle. He kept vowing never to return, didn't he?
Over and over. But something pulls him back to the place he tried so hard to leave behind.
And his return really highlights that inner turmoil. He's called a forgotten hero whose star had faded so quickly. He's kind of a living symbol of Messina's past glory. But for him, it's complicated. Painful even.
That image of him in the silent bleachers.
Powerful. Bleachers that once held 10,000 screaming fans, now just emptiness. You understand why he thinks, I wish I'd never seen a football.
And pretty quickly he runs into Paul Curry, his old co-captain, best friend.
Paul stayed, right? Became a banker in Messina.
Yeah, his roots stayed put. And then others start showing up at the field, or at least Short, the linebacker, mean dude, hubcap.
Who's kind of in and out of jail, as they put it.
Right, and Amos Kelso. They just sort of gather.
It's like this exclusive club, isn't it? This small fraternity whose membership was forever closed. It shows that bond, forged under Rake, under that intense pressure, that shared experience, the Messina football experience. It just never leaves them. It pulls them back together, even after all those years, back to the field, where they felt like they owned the world.
Let's talk about some of those guys, how things turned out. Because Rake's influence, that whole football-obsessed culture, it really stuck with them, like Silo Mooney.
Ah, Silo, the center, nose guard, tough as nails.
Lived for the sight of blood, apparently, and actually craved Rake yelling at him, cursing him out.
Which Rake did, more than anyone else.
His life after, described as a colorful career. Dishonorable discharge, offshore oil rigs dealing drugs.
And ends up running a body shop that's really a front for a chop shop. Stolen trucks.
Yeah, described as a mess. Drinking heavily, looks way older than he is.
Silo's path, it really shows how that intense Rake world shaped them. for good or bad. But his loyalty to Rake, unshakable. Even after all the verbal abuse, even with his own life kind of a wreck, he'd defend Rake fiercely, physically. It's a really intense, almost disturbing kind of loyalty.
And you have Nat Sawyer. Completely different story.
The punter.
Yeah.
The famously bad punter.
Exactly. Worse in Spartan history, they say. And now, he owns Messina's only bookstore and coffee shop. Herbal teas, quiet corners.
Seems like the last place you'd find Coach Rake.
Right. But Rake was his first customer. Nat talks about bringing these subtle changes to Messina and this weird, unexpected friendship developing with the coach.
It's fascinating, isn't it? It shows this hidden side of Rake, the football obsessive who also sought out quiet chats about books, detective novels, specifically.
Raymond Chandler, Elmore Leonard.
Yeah, and he'd sneak out the back if other people showed up. It suggests this private way he coped, maybe after he got fired. A complexity few people ever saw.
And it really highlights Nat's own journey, too. Finding himself, finding acceptance.
Absolutely. Empowered by Rake saying something surprisingly gentle. Go live your life, son. Some folks will hate you, some folks will love you. It's up to you. Quite a moment from Rake.
Then there's the tragedy of Jesse Trapp, number 56, linebacker. Played a bit at Miami then. Prison.
Yeah, we find him at Buford Detention Facility. Still huge, physically powerful, but just confined.
Serving 28 years, drugs, a death involved. It's rough.
It really is a heartbreaking example of the pressure, the choices these guys faced, and his refusal to go to Rake's funeral, even though he loved the guy.
Why was that?
Deep humiliation, feeling like he failed Rake, let him down. It just shows the lasting weight of that expectation and how falling short could absolutely crush someone.
And speaking of secrets and hidden things, Neely drops a bombshell on Paul 15 years later.
The money.
Yeah. $50,000 cash to sign with Tech, plus more payments later, stuffed in his P.O. box anonymously.
That detail about the sleazy business of recruiting, it's a stark reminder, isn't it? Right. Behind the all-American image, the town's heroes, there was this other reality. Apparently every school was offering cash. It just shows that even the golden boy, Neely, was caught up in a system that wasn't nearly as pure as Messina wanted to believe.
Okay, so let's shift gears to 1992. This was a massive turning point.
Huge.
We hear about the Spartan Marathon first, Rake's conditioning method, basically running kids into the ground all summer, losing 20, 30 pounds just to survive it. Brutal stuff.
Absolutely brutal. And then came the tragedy.
Scotty Reardon, a sophomore, guys from heat stroke, during a Sunday morning practice. No pads, no contact, but...
But it's 89 degrees and is one of Rake's 2-hour torture sessions, as the sources call it.
A perfectly healthy 15-year-old kid dies.
And that broke something in Messina. That unquestioning loyalty fractured.
Scotty's family had influence too, right? His uncle was the superintendent of education.
John Reardon, yeah. That influence led to the unthinkable. Rake getting fired. It split the town right down the middle. People started asking hard questions. Why do you run kids till they puke? The magic shield around Rake was gone.
The aftermath sounds chaotic. The funeral for Scotty, the team wearing their jerseys.
The band playing graveside.
Then the boosters trying to boycott, threatening to pull funding, start a whole new school.
Total chaos. But the team's reaction was the real surprise.
Tell us about that.
They started playing differently. With more guts, is how it's described. Playing for fun, not out of fear. They dedicated their first game to Scotty. And they started winning.
Without Rake.
Without Rake. It's this powerful insight, isn't it? Tragedy forces a reevaluation. The team shifts from playing under fear to playing with joy, or maybe just sheer will. It shows the cost of that relentless pressure Rake applied. And the political battle afterwards over Rake's firing, with the superintendent almost losing his job to a Rake loyalist. It just shows how deep that divide ran in Messina. The fear was gone, but the town was torn apart.
So all these stories, all these lives, they seem to orbit around one specific crucial event. A secret kept for years.
The 1987 state championship game.
That's the one. Messina down 31-0 at halftime against a team described as vastly superior.
And the big mystery, the thing that nobody in Messina understood for 15 long years.
Yeah.
Why were the coaches not on the sidelines for the second half?
The locker room incident, only revealed when Neely finally tells the story.
After 15 years of silence.
And it's explosive. Neely recounts it. Rake comes in absolutely furious, walks straight to Neely.
And backhands him. Hard, across the face, breaks his nose, breaks his hand.
Neely reacts instinctively, punches Rake, knocks him out cold.
Unbelievable moment. And then Silo Mooney jumps in.
Fiercely protective of Neely, grabs another coach up church, by the throat, slams him against a wall, tells all the coaches to get out.
And the players back him up. They literally kick the coaches out, lock the door.
Wow. Just,
Yeah.
wow.
It completely changes everything, doesn't it? It's not just hero worship anymore. It's rebellion. It's loyalty to each other, above the coach. The spell is broken. And these players, fueled by this intense rage, this hatred for Rake in that moment, and this vow of silence, they go back out there
And score 34 unanswered points.
to win the state championship. It's incredible. Adversity forging this unbreakable bond, this self-motivation born out of anger. They wanted to kill somebody, and the other team was just the target.
Let's relive some of that second half. The sources describe it as a dogfight.
Pure brutality in the trenches. Silo Mooney was just unleashing hell on defense.
Including deliberately injuring an opponent, right?
A knee drop. Yeah. Calculated and brutal. Then Paul Curry's punt return. 95 yards.
The irony being,
It was a play Rake had drilled into them endlessly. Hours and hours of practice paying off, even with him locked out of the stadium.
and Neely, playing with a broken hand, still calling the plays, leading them to that final touchdown.
The ultimate irony, really. The team achieves its greatest victory because of a violent clash with their leader, playing without coaches, but using every ounce of toughness Rake had hammered into them. They didn't just win, they slaughtered them, proved they could do it themselves.
So, fast forward again. The players are gathered at Rake Field for the vigil, waiting for news about the coach.
Yeah, a somber gathering.
And then the sheriff, Mel Brown, just softly says, "Coach is gone." The lights on one of the field poles go out, leaving the players in the semi-darkness with their grief, their memories.
It's a powerful moment of collective mourning, and you see how differently Rake affected each of them. Neely remembers Rake apologizing in the hospital after the punch, a rare moment of vulnerability.
Nat remembers the book lover, the guy who told him to be himself.
And Jesse Trapp feels that deep agony of having failed Rake, remembering Rake was even in court when he got sentenced.
It really drives home that he wasn't just a coach. He was a father figure, a mentor, sometimes a tormentor. He left a permanent mark.
Absolutely indelible,
The funeral itself is huge, shuts down the whole town.
as you'd expect in Messina.
And then Jesse Trapp arrives, escorted by prison guards, released just for the funeral.
Wearing his old number 56 jersey his mom brought him.
And the reaction.
A thunderous standing ovation. The bleachers literally rattle. It's this incredible moment of forgiveness, recognition for this fallen hero, the town embracing him.
It really speaks volumes about Messina, doesn't it?
It does. And Jesse's presence was actually Rake's personal request. It shows Rake's lasting influence, even in death, and the community's capacity to forgive its own.
The eulogies then start peeling back even more layers of Rake's character. Father McCabe shares Rake's final wishes.
To be buried next to Scotty Reardon.
Yeah, and his deep remorse over Scotty's death, weeping about it every day, apparently.
But then comes the real shocker.
Delivered by his daughter, a written apology from Rake.
For hitting Neely in the 1987 locker room, calling it a criminal act.
That's huge.
It's massive. This posthumous admission of guilt for Scotty, for Neely, from a man who projected nothing but strength. It's incredibly vulnerable. It allows for this collective healing, doesn't it? A chance to reassess the man, enormous pride, yes, but also, as the source says, terribly sensitive to the suffering of others. Sort of closes the loop on those secrets.
Then we hear from others. Judge Mike Hilliard from Rake's very first team.
Talking about Camp Rake, brutal, practicing till midnight even after a win.
He says Rake allowed them to touch greatness.
Made them believe they were invincible.
And then Reverend Collis Suggs, the first black captain, his perspective is powerful.
Absolute. Talking about Rake integrating the high school, treating everyone like dogs equally.
Sounds harsh, but the point was,
Equality through shared misery, maybe, but also genuine effort. Rake pushed for integration with the band, the cheerleaders. Suggs says Rake hated injustice, and if he saw it, a fight was coming.
so these eulogies paint this incredibly complex picture.
Exactly. Hilliard sees the discipline, the relentless drive for excellence. Suggs sees this unexpected force for equality in a segregated town. It shows Rake, flaws and all, was transformative. He pushed Messina, united it in strange ways, even while dividing it in others.
And finally, Neely gives his eulogy. You can feel him wrestling with it all.
The love-hate thing.
Yeah. Do I love Eddie Rake or do I hate him? But he finds forgiveness, acknowledges the impact. Once you've played for Eddie Rake, you carry him with you forever.
It's raw when he confesses Rake is one of only 5 people he's ever truly loved.
That internal struggle Neely has, it feels very real. Anyone who's had a complicated relationship with a mentor, a parent figure, can probably relate.
And his realization that he actually misses Rake's voice, pushing him, pick yourself up, do better, never quit,
Hmm.
that's profound. It shows how deep that mentorship went, even the tough parts. He accepts being a forgotten hero isn't easy, but he owns his past now.
So after the funeral, the 87 team has one last get-together at Silo's cabin.
A final moment of that fraternity.
But Neely feels ready to leave. Leave Messina. Leave the past, the broken dreams. But he makes a vow.
To come back. Annually. To celebrate Rake's life. He tells himself the past was finally gone now. It left with Rake.
And it feels like acceptance, doesn't it?
Yeah, a mature acceptance. He's not erasing the past. He's integrating it. He knows the glory days are gone, but Messina is still home. There's value in returning and maybe shaping his future differently. He promises himself he'll come back and tell a story of his own, one with a happy ending. It's hopeful.
What an absolutely incredible story. This deep dive into Messina, Coach Rake, and all those lives tangled up with his legacy. We've seen how that single-minded intensity could create champions, yes, but also unite a town, hide secrets, and cause profound pain.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? About the real price of chasing greatness, whether it's on a football field or anywhere else. What are the benefits and what are the costs? And maybe more importantly, how do we personally deal with the legacies of those complex figures who push us, shape us, even when their methods are, well, questionable, flawed?
So as you think about this deep dive, maybe ask yourself, who are the Eddie Rakes in your life, the figures who've left that kind of indelible mark? And how have you navigated their complex legacies?